The most successful people in history are not remembered for what they built. They are remembered for what they did after. You spent decades becoming successful. Most people stop there. The rare few go further, and what they find changes everything. There is a moment, and every truly successful person knows this moment. When you look around and realize you are standing where you once only imagined standing. The goals you wrote down, the life you designed, it's here. It's real. It's yours. And yet, something unexpected happens in that moment. Not emptiness. Don't misunderstand me, but a question. A quiet, persistent question that success itself cannot answer. Now, the question remains. What happens next? That question is not a crisis. It is an invitation. It is the most important question a successful person will ever face, because how you answer it determines not just the rest of your life, but the size of your legacy. And here is what the greatest men and women in history discovered. The answer was never more. It was never bigger. It was never faster. The answer to that question was always others. There is a ceiling to personal success. You can only build so much, own so much, achieve so much. The human life has limits, and the wisest among us make peace with that early. But there is no ceiling on impact. There is no limit to how many lives you can change, how many futures you can alter, how many people you can lift to a place they could not have reached alone. That is where the truly ambitious go next. Not because they have to, because nothing else comes close. Now, and this distinction matters enormously, there are two ways to help people, and they are not equal. You can give a man what he needs today, food, money, relief, and that is not nothing. Compassion has its place, but that man will return tomorrow with the same need, and the day after, and the day after that. Or you can give him something he carries with him forever, a skill, a framework, a way of seeing the world that opens doors he didn't know existed. One act feeds a day, the other feeds a lifetime. The first is charity, the second is transformation. And transformation, real transformation, is the only gift that multiplies. When you teach someone to think, to build, to persist, you are not just helping one person. You are helping every person that person will ever influence. Their children, their team, their community. The ripple of that transformation never truly stops. Andrew Carnegie understood this better than almost anyone in modern history. By the time he was in his 50s, Carnegie was the richest man in the world. He had built an empire of steel that powered a nation. He had more money than he could spend in 100 lifetimes, and then he stopped. He sold everything, and he spent the last 18 years of his life giving it away. Deliberately, strategically, purposefully. But Carnegie didn't just write checks. He built libraries, over 2,500 of them across the world. He didn't give people books, he gave them places to learn. Spaces where anyone, regardless of wealth, regardless of background, could walk in and educate themselves. Carnegie had climbed the highest mountain of his era, and from the top, he looked down and spent the rest of his life helping others climb. Think about the people who changed your life. Not the ones who gave you things, the ones who gave you perspective, who saw something in you before you saw it in yourself, who said, "You can do this. Here is how." A mentor, a teacher, a leader who took time they didn't have to invest in someone who had nothing to offer in return. That is the most powerful force in human development. Not money, not resources. A person who knows and chooses to teach. You are now that person. You have the knowledge. You have the experience. You have walked the path and learned where the traps are. That is not a small thing. That is everything to someone standing at the beginning of that same road. History does not remember the size of what men built. It remembers the size of what they gave. Rockefeller built Standard Oil. one of the most powerful companies ever created. But what endures? The universities, the medical research, the institutions that carry his name because of what he chose to do with what he earned. Carnegie's steel is gone, his libraries remain. Your name will not live in your bank account. It will not live in your portfolio. It will live in the square footage of what you owned. It will live in the person you mentored who went on to build something extraordinary, in the student who learned from you and taught 10 others, in the life that changed direction because you took the time to share what you know. That is the only legacy that lasts. You have already won the first game. Most people never do. The second game is bigger, quieter, less visible. There are no headlines for it, no rankings, no metrics. But ask any person who has played it, truly played it, and they will tell you the same thing. It fills something that success alone never could. Your next mountain is not for you. And that is exactly what makes it worth climbing. I am Salomón. I will see you in the next one.